Before we dive into one of the most baffling mysteries of our time, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. Ready? Let's get into it. Imagine a clear night sky, suddenly interrupted by something so colossal, so silent, so utterly unexplainable that it leaves an entire state in awe and confusion. This isn't the opening scene of a sci-fi movie. This is exactly what happened on the evening of March 13th, 1997, over the skies of Arizona. This is the story of the Phoenix Lights. It all started around 7:30 p.m. in Henderson, Nevada. A man reported seeing a massive V-shaped object with 6 lights on its leading edge. He described it as being the size of a Boeing 747, but unlike any aircraft he'd ever seen, it was completely silent. This was just the beginning. Over the next 3 hours, this mysterious craft, or series of crafts, would embark on a silent journey of over 300 miles, carving a path across Arizona and leaving a trail of thousands of bewildered eyewitnesses in its wake. As the object moved south, the calls started flooding in. From Prescott, witnesses described a triangular formation of lights. By the time it reached the Phoenix area, around 10 p.m., the phenomenon had reached its peak. Tens of thousands of people, from everyday citizens to police officers and even air traffic controllers, looked up to see a sight that defied all logical explanation. What they saw wasn't just a few distant lights. Witnesses consistently described a gigantic, solid, dark object, often V-shaped or boomerang-shaped, that was so large it blotted out the stars behind it. It was estimated to be a mile wide. Think about that for a second. An object a mile wide, gliding silently through the sky, low enough for people to feel a sense of overwhelming scale. It moved slowly, gracefully, without a single sound. No engine roar, no sonic boom, nothing. Just a silent, majestic presence. One of the most compelling accounts came from a family in the Phoenix suburbs. They watched this colossal craft pass directly over their home. They could see the structure, the defined edges, and the soft, glowing orbs of light embedded within it. They described a feeling of absolute awe, not fear. It felt like they were witnessing something not of this world, something intelligent and controlled. And they weren't alone. Pilots, both commercial and private, reported the object on their radios. One pilot flying a private plane near Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport radioed the control tower, asking what the strange lights were. The controllers couldn't see it on radar. This is a crucial point. A mile-wide object flying low over a major metropolitan area, somehow invisible to sophisticated radar systems. How is that possible? The event can be broken down into 2 main sightings. The first was this massive V-shaped craft that moved across the state between 8 and 10 p.m. The second event, which occurred later around 10 p.m., was a series of stationary amber-colored orbs that appeared in a line over the city of Phoenix. This second set of lights is what most of the famous photographs and videos actually captured. Now, this is where the story gets even stranger. The official explanation. Initially, the U.S. Air Force claimed they had no aircraft in the area and couldn't explain the sightings. The public was left in the dark with their own incredible stories and a growing sense of unease. The media attention was huge, and the pressure for an answer mounted. Months later, the military changed its story. They claimed the second set of lights, the stationary orbs, were simply military flares dropped from a 1-0 Warthog aircraft during a training exercise called Operation Snowbird at the Barry Goldwater Range south of Phoenix. Let's break that down. The military's explanation only addressed the second sighting, the stationary orbs. It completely ignored the first, and arguably more significant event, the silent, mile-wide, V-shaped craft that thousands of people saw traverse the entire state. Many witnesses, including pilots and former police officers, immediately rejected the flare explanation. They were adamant that what they saw was not flares. Flares don't hold a perfect formation. They drift with the wind. They flicker and descend, eventually burning out. What people saw were lights that remained in a fixed, geometric pattern for several minutes before dimming out simultaneously, as if on a switch. Furthermore, witnesses to the first event were clear. They saw a solid, physical object. It wasn't just a formation of lights. The lights were attached to something huge and dark. One of the most credible witnesses was the governor of Arizona at the time, Fife Symington. Initially, he mocked the incident at a press conference, bringing out an aide dressed in an alien costume to lighten the mood. He dismissed it as nonsense. However, years later, in 2007, he came forward with a stunning admission. He revealed that he, too, had witnessed the massive V-shaped craft that night. He described it as otherworldly and enormous. He said he publicly downplayed it to prevent mass panic, but he was convinced it was not man-made. The former governor, a pilot himself, knew the difference between flares and what he saw. He stated, "I've never seen anything like it. It was huge and inexplicable." So what are we left with? On one hand, we have the official explanation of military flares, an explanation that feels incomplete and dismissive to many. It conveniently ignores the most compelling part of the story, the massive silent craft. On the other hand, we have thousands of credible eyewitness testimonies, from ordinary citizens to pilots and even a state governor, all describing something that defies our current understanding of technology. Could it have been some kind of top-secret, next-generation military aircraft? A silent, mile-wide stealth bomber? It's a possibility, but the technology required for such a craft to be completely silent and invisible to radar would be light years ahead of anything we know about publicly. If it was ours, where has it been for the last 2 decades? And why test it so brazenly over a heavily populated area? This leaves the more extraordinary possibility, the one that many witnesses felt in their gut that night, that the Phoenix lights were not of this earth. The silent, graceful movement, the impossible scale, the complete disregard for our airspace. It all points to an intelligence far beyond our own. The Phoenix Lights event remains the largest mass UFO sighting in modern history. It wasn't a fleeting glimpse or a blurry photo. It was a prolonged, close-up encounter witnessed by a significant portion of a state's population. The sheer number of witnesses and the consistency of their accounts make it impossible to simply dismiss. Whatever glided through the Arizona sky on March 13, 1997, it left an indelible mark on everyone who saw it. It opened a door to a reality far stranger and more mysterious than we might imagine. Was it a secret military project? Or was it a genuine visitor from the stars, making its presence known in the most undeniable way? 25 years later, we still don't have a definitive answer. The mystery of the Phoenix Lights endures, a silent testament to the fact that there are still things in our skies and in our universe that we simply cannot explain. What do you think? Was it a top-secret craft, a natural phenomenon, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories down in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you in the next video. Stay curious.